Have you ever looked in the mirror and felt like time has taken something from you? The face staring back isn't quite the same as the one you remember. The world moves faster. Friendships shift. And the body you once trusted now feels unfamiliar. Aging can feel like an uphill battle, a process of loss and decline. But what if the real struggle isn't against aging itself, but against our resistance to it? Buddhism teaches that suffering arises when we fight against the natural flow of life. The truth of impermanence Anicca reminds us that everything changes. And rather than seeing this as something to fear, we can see it as the key to freedom. We spend so much time trying to hold on, trying to freeze moments, trying to preserve what must inevitably change. But what if aging isn't something to dread? What if it's something to embrace? Today, I'll share 5 profound Buddhist lessons about aging that will completely shift your perspective. These truths are not bitter, they are powerful, liberating, and even beautiful. Once you embrace them, you will begin to experience aging not as a loss, but as an unfolding of something deeper, something richer. So stay with me, because what you're about to learn might just change the way you see the rest of your life. Aging is something most of us fear. We resist the passage of time, clinging desperately to our youth and viewing growing older as a battle we must win. But what if the real problem isn't aging itself, but our resistance to it? Buddhist teachings remind us of an essential truth. Impermanence known as anicca. Everything changes. Nothing stays the same forever. When we struggle against this natural truth, we create unnecessary pain for ourselves. Imagine swimming against the current of a river. It's exhausting, frustrating, and ultimately futile. Life flows naturally, and the secret to true freedom and happiness lies not in fighting this flow, but in learning to move with it. Aging, therefore, isn't something to be dreaded or fought against. It's a natural, beautiful part of our journey through life. When you stop resisting and begin accepting that aging is inevitable, something remarkable happens. You find peace, gratitude, and even joy in the process. Embracing impermanence doesn't mean giving up, it means freeing yourself from suffering, letting go of fear, and discovering a deeper meaning in the life you're living right now. You will be forgotten faster than you think, and that's perfectly okay. One of the most difficult truths to accept about aging is that the world moves on faster than we realize. The achievements we've made, the stories we've shared, and even our names will gradually fade from people's memories. At first, this thought can feel disheartening. We spend our lives striving to leave a lasting impression, hoping our legacies will endure. But Buddhism offers a profound and comforting perspective on this reality. There's a beautiful Zen story of a river. Each day, the water flows on, never holding onto yesterday's currents. Our lives are much the same. The purpose isn't to be permanently remembered or to leave behind a famous name. Instead, our true legacy lies in the kindness we show, the compassion we share, and the positive impact we leave behind in each moment we live. When we fully embrace the present moment and live with genuine kindness and intention, our actions ripple outward, influencing others in countless unseen ways. Though our names might fade, the warmth, love, and wisdom we impart continue to flow on through the lives we've touched. It's not about being remembered forever. It's about living fully, authentically, and compassionately right now. Your body will change, so befriend it instead. There was a time when you could move effortlessly, climbing stairs, running, carrying heavy things without a second thought. But now, your knees ache, your back stiffens, and simple tasks require more effort than before. It can feel like your body is betraying you. But is it really? Buddhism teaches us that aging is not a personal failure, it's simply the way nature unfolds. Just as trees shed their leaves in autumn, our bodies change as time passes. The real suffering doesn't come from aging itself, but from our attachment to youth and resistance to change. When we cling to who we used to be, we create unnecessary frustration. But when we shift our perspective and see our bodies as lifelong companions instead of failing machines, we begin to cultivate gratitude instead of resentment. Your body has carried you through every experience in life. It has healed, endured, and adapted to everything you've asked of it. Rather than resenting it for slowing down, honor it for its service, care for it, move with kindness, eat nourishing foods, rest when needed. Treat your body as a wise, old friend rather than something that's letting you down. There's a Buddhist parable about an aging monk who struggled with his daily tasks. Frustrated, he asked his teacher why his body no longer obeyed him. The teacher handed him a cracked clay pot and said, "This pot once held water without effort. Now it leaks. Does that mean it's useless?" The monk shook his head. "No, master. It still holds some water." The teacher smiled. "And does that not still serve a purpose? Your body, like that pot, may not be the same as before, but it still has value, still has purpose. You may not run as fast, but you can still walk. You may not lift as much, but you can still carry wisdom, love, and kindness. Your hands may shake, but they can still reach out and comfort others. So instead of seeing aging as a loss, embrace it as a transformation. Befriend your body. Thank it for all it has done, and walk forward with grace. Aging doesn't mean losing who you are, it means evolving into the person you're meant to become. You can't keep everyone in your life forever, and that's natural. As you grow older, you may start to notice something painful: people drift away. Friends who were once inseparable become distant. Family members who used to call regularly now only check in occasionally. Some people disappear from your life entirely, leaving behind only silence where there was once laughter. It's easy to take this personally. You might wonder, did I do something wrong? Was I not enough? But Buddhism teaches us that impermanence applies to everything, including relationships. People enter our lives when we need them, and they leave when their role in our story is complete. Just as the seasons change, so do the people around us. There's a beautiful Buddhist parable about this truth. A young monk once asked his teacher, "Why do people leave us, even when we love them?" The teacher took him to a riverbank and pointed to the flowing water. "See how the river moves," he said. "Each drop of water flows past us, never staying in one place. Some drops travel together for a while, merging and dancing side by side. Others separate quickly, carried away by the current." The young monk nodded. "People are like that." The teacher continued. "Some walk beside us for a short time, others for years, but all must keep moving. It is not their departure that should sadden us, but our refusal to accept that their presence was never meant to be permanent. Instead of focusing on who has left, cherish those who remain." Have you ever reunited with an old friend after years apart and felt as if no time had passed? That's because true connections never really disappear, they simply take on new forms. The love and joy shared with those who have moved on still live within you, shaping who you are today. Aging teaches us that relationships evolve. Some fade gently, like the setting sun. Others end abruptly, like a passing storm. But no matter how they leave, they were meaningful in their time. And remember, even when someone is no longer physically present, the love you shared does not vanish, it remains woven into your heart. So, instead of mourning every lost connection, celebrate the ones that endure. Invest your energy in the people who bring you peace and joy. Treasure the friend who still calls to check in, the neighbor who smiles as you pass by, the grandchild who listens to your stories. And most importantly, don't close your heart to new relationships. No matter your age, life still offers you moments of connection if only you remain open to them. Let go with grace. Honor what was. Appreciate what is. And embrace what is yet to come. That is the way of wisdom. Your appearance will change, but true beauty lies in wisdom. One day, you catch a glimpse of yourself in the mirror and realize that you no longer look like the person you once were. Your skin has softened, your hair has grayed, and your hands have become more delicate. Society tells you to fight this, to erase wrinkles, dye your hair, and chase youth at all costs. But what if we saw aging differently? Buddhist philosophy teaches that true beauty is not found in flawless skin, but in wisdom, presence, and kindness. Every wrinkle tells a story. Every gray hair is a mark of experience. And every sign of aging is proof of a life well lived. You have grown, learned, and evolved. Why should that be something to hide? There's a Zen story about an elderly woman who visited a wise master. Sadness in her eyes. "Master," she said, "I look in the mirror and do not recognize myself. My beauty has faded. My hair is silver. My skin is lined. I feel invisible." The master smiled and led her to the garden. He pointed to a cherry blossom tree in full bloom. "This is beautiful, is it not?" She nodded. Then he took her to an ancient pine tree, its bark weathered, its branches twisted with time. "And this?" he asked. She hesitated. "It is different, but there is something dignified about it, something strong." The master chuckled. "That is because you have wisdom. A child may only see beauty in the cherry blossom, but with time, we learn to appreciate the pine." The woman understood. Her beauty had not faded, it had transformed. Think about the elders you admire. Were they beautiful because they looked young? Or was it the warmth in their smile, the kindness in their voice, and the wisdom in their words that made them radiant? True beauty is not found in youth, it is found in the depth of your presence, the grace of your experiences, and the compassion you offer to the world. Imagine if we celebrated aging instead of fearing it. If we saw every wrinkle as a story, every silver strand as a lesson learned. Imagine if we valued the wisdom we've gained instead of mourning the youth we've left behind. There is a radiance that only comes with age, the confidence of knowing who you are, the strength of having endured life's storms, the gentleness that comes from understanding others. That is a beauty that no cream or dye can replicate. So the next time you look in the mirror and feel tempted to lament what has been lost, pause, look deeper, see the life you've lived, the love you've given, and the wisdom you carry. Wear your years with pride, like a garment woven with experience and grace, because true beauty is not behind you, it is within you. Right now, in this very moment, you will see more people you love die, but love never dies. As the years pass, loss becomes more frequent. Parents, siblings, friends, even children, one by one, they leave this world. And no matter how much we try to prepare, nothing can truly ease the ache of losing someone we love. Grief is not something we simply get over. It's something we learn to live with. But Buddhism offers a powerful truth. Love does not die. The people we have lost live on in us, in the lessons they taught, the kindness they shared, and the love they gave. Every time you speak their name, share their wisdom, or carry forward their compassion, they are with you. There is an old Buddhist parable about a woman named Kisa Gautami. When her young son passed away, she was overcome with sorrow. She carried his lifeless body from house to house, begging for medicine that could bring him back. Finally, she came to the Buddha, who told her, "Bring me a mustard seed from a home that has never known death, filled with hope." She knocked on every door in the village, but every family had lost someone, a parent, a child, a friend. By the end of her search, she realized she was not alone in her suffering. She returned to the Buddha with new understanding. Grief is woven into the fabric of life, and no one is spared. Aging teaches us this truth again and again. We must face loss, but the love we shared with those who have passed never truly fades. Think about the people you have lost. Perhaps it was a parent whose laughter still echoes in your memory, a friend whose advice continues to guide you, a partner whose love still shapes the way you love others. They may be gone, but they are not absent. One of the greatest misunderstandings about grief is that we must move on. But Buddhism teaches that we do not move on, we move forward. We carry the love, the lessons, and the essence of those we have lost. Have you ever noticed how a certain smell, a song, or even a phrase brings someone back to life? If only for a moment. That is their presence lingering in you, reminding you that love is not bound by the physical world. Yes, grief is painful, but it is also a testament to the depth of our love. The greater the love, the deeper the loss. And rather than wishing the pain away, we can transform it into gratitude. Instead of focusing on what we have lost, we can cherish what we were given. Aging means witnessing more loss, but it also means having had the privilege to love deeply, to form connections that matter, and to carry forward the spirit of those who touched our lives. So when you feel the weight of loss pressing on your heart, remember, love never dies. It flows through you, through your actions, through the kindness you offer to the world. As long as you keep loving, those who have passed remain a part of you. And in that, they are never truly gone. Aging is not a punishment, it is a privilege. Every year, every wrinkle, every gray hair is a mark of the life you have lived, the lessons you have learned, and the love you have shared. Yet, society often teaches us to fear aging, to resist it at all costs, as if growing older is something to be ashamed of. But Buddhism teaches otherwise. Aging is not the enemy, fear is. When we resist change, we suffer. When we cling to youth, we lose sight of the gifts that come with age: wisdom, patience, and a deeper appreciation for the present moment. The more we fight the inevitable, the more we fill our hearts with frustration and regret. But the moment we surrender to life's natural flow, we unlock a profound peace. we begin to see that aging is not something being taken from us but something being given. So, my friend, what will you do with these truths? Will you fight against time? Or will you embrace it with an open heart? Will you dwell in the past, longing for what once was? Or will you celebrate what still is? The choice is yours. But if you choose acceptance, if you choose gratitude, then you will discover that aging is not an end, it is a new beginning. Carry these lessons with you. Walk this path not with fear, but with grace. Find joy in the wisdom you have gained. Share your stories. Laugh freely. Love deeply. Live fully. If this message spoke to you, I invite you to share your thoughts in the comments. Let's walk this journey of wisdom together. And if you found value in this, don't forget to subscribe for more insights on embracing life with peace, purpose, and mindfulness. Aging is not the closing of a book, it is simply the turning of a page. And the next chapter, it's yours to write.